So I am going to be reading the posts off of my iPad, which is right in front of me. I am also going to be reacting to the posts as usual, and I'm going to be drinking water out of my cool Starbucks cup. And chewing some Airheads gum. Blue raspberry. Please take a moment to see if you are subscribed to the channel. And if you're not, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video, please leave it a like. Thank you so much. I'm also going to be playing with this squishy bat. Can you believe it? If you know me, you know I'm afraid of bats. But not this one. This one is not scary. I have to take this off. If he tries anything with me, all I have to do is take that. You see? Okay. Here we go. Would I be the a-hole if I told my new sister-in-law she owes my husband and I a cake for our 1-year wedding anniversary? My husband and I got married recently, and as we were bringing all our stuff back, his sister and her daughter, who is 12, grabbed the cake for us. My husband and I were both pretty intoxicated, and when she dropped us off at our house, we forgot to grab the cake. When we asked them about it the next day, we found out they ended up eating the rest of it that night. It was a very small cake, 1 tier, and we barely got any of it, just enough for the cutting of the cake and a small cake smash. There would have been enough for us for our 1-year anniversary to enjoy, to celebrate the tradition, which we are pretty traditional when it came to that, but now it's all gone. Should we just deal with it and get our own cake on our 1-year anniversary? Or should we have her pay for a new one for us? I don't want to be rude, but it was kind of rude of them to eat our cake without asking. Alright. Well, here's the thing. If you haven't heard of this tradition, what most people do is, after your wedding, you freeze what is left of the cake, and then the next year you take it out and you eat it. You eat some of it to celebrate your 1-year anniversary. That's the tradition, and some people will take out that cake every year for as long as they still have the cake, you know. But definitely in 1 year, most people people said in the comments section, eating year-old cake is gross, just buy another. Okay, that's simple. That one's too long. I'm not reading any insanely long comments. I mean, are you serious? Raise your hands if you ate that year-old cake you put in the freezer. I did. We had at least a bite of it. It's not that big of a disgrace to eat a year-old frozen cake. It's not like a year-old frozen piece of meat. Geez, they could have at least waited a day or two, greedy guts. Yeah. I mean, that's my opinion. It was really rude of them to eat it at the time. They obviously did not know about the tradition, I'm assuming. It was wrong for them to eat it, but a year later is not the time to ask them for the money. Alright. Let's move on to something more interesting, shall we? AITA for not baby-proofing my house. Let me take a sip of water. Okay, so AITA for not baby-proofing my house. Please note that I do not have any kids or animals. Last night, my siblings came over for dinner, and my sister's daughter was crawling on the floor. Unfortunately, she bumped into a frame on the counter, causing it to fall on her head. My sister was angry and questioned why I have items easily accessible to kids that could potentially harm them, especially when I know they come to visit. She even suggested that I install a baby gate by the stairs and take other safety measures. I'm genuinely upset because why should I have to do all that? It's her child, not mine, and it's my own house. Okay. No, you are not the a-hole. As someone who has children who are no longer babies by any means, but I remember when they were, there was no expectation for other people to baby-proof their homes, no matter how close of a relative they were, and nobody did. Nobody. Unless they were going to be babysitting your child on a daily basis, like almost providing daycare, you would not expect them to childproof their home. So of course you would, be very, it would be a rough night for you when you take your baby or babies, as I have twins, to someone's house who has no childproofing, and all they want to do is run up and down the stairs, and there's no gate. So I would have to spend my entire time sitting on the stairs, because what are you gonna do? But that's not to say that people have to baby-proof their home, That's just how life is. If you have babies, you have to deal with it. You want to bring a few items to, do a little temporary baby-proofing. You want to bring a baby gate that you could just pop up for the time. You want to bring some of those plug covers, You can't ask people to baby-proof their homes for you. Okay. That was an easy one. Wait, let's see what some of the comments were. You're not the a-hole. It's her kid to watch, not yours. My aunt does this same crap, and it's so annoying. No one's in charge of that baby and safety except their parents. And someone said, let me put it this way, if someone gets injured in your home, you are liable and can be sued. Now, whose responsibility is it to ensure their home is safe for all? With that said, oh, yours. Someone shouldn't have to watch a kid's every last move and be right on top of them, hounding them. If you know little kids are going to be over, then you should have the respect to want it to be safe and move some things so it is, because you'll be the one liable if a child in your home is injured. This person does not know what they're talking about. You see, if it was just about moving a few things, yeah, sure, but that is not baby-proofing. It's not about what people said. What do you expect the employer to do? Take the word of a complete stranger about what an employee did when they weren't at work? Leave it alone. Another person, what someone does off the clock is no business of an employer's. Mind your own goddamn business and quit being a Karen. The person wrote back in the comment section and they said, I should have posted this question in my local restaurant review page instead of here. I bet those people would feel differently considering it would be them eating the poop donuts. Y'all just don't care because it doesn't directly affect you. I mean, like I said, if I saw that, I would not want to eat food from their hands. But it's not a reason to tell their boss. Like if you want to tell a few of your friends, hey, look what I saw. Just your friends, but don't try to get him fired. Okay. Like for example, let me tell you something. Somebody who worked at a local supermarket told me that at that supermarket, when the meat goes bad, or like when the date runs out on the meat, they just peel it off and put on a new sticker with a different date. And I was like, that is ridiculous. Like, I will never buy any meat there. And I told like my close friends about it, but I didn't do anything else because I didn't want to get the person who told me in trouble. Okay. Like I don't think they were doing it to the point where the meat would be rotted, but just that it wouldn't be the freshest, you know. They weren't selling rotted meat, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, this is a preemptive AITA. I'm going to be flying home with my service dog in a few days. She is quite large, Great Pyrenees mix, and does take up some space. Usually I try to fly Southwest with her due to the unassigned seats, so people don't have to sit next to a dog if they do not want to. And also we can sit in the front row where she fits. Now I've just recently moved and our home airport doesn't have Southwest. In order for her to fit on the plane with me, I have to buy a first class ticket in the front row. My question is, AITA for making someone else that pays for first class sit next to me and my large and very sweet service dog. No, you are not the a-hole. Because, first of all, you have no options here, right? You want to take your dog on the flight, and this is the only way that you can do it, number one. Number two, do they have 3-seaters in first class, or isn't it 2 and 2? I don't know. I guess she knows it must be 3-seaters. So if that's the case, she doesn't have to make them sit next to her dog. They can sit next to her, and she can sit next to her dog. Right? And I'm assuming if this is a service animal, then the So, I mean, it sounds really simple to us, but it's not, you know? Obviously, we're all sitting here like, are you kidding? Like, he's beating you, he's done it multiple times. Why do you feel guilty about it? You know, what are you talking about? You know, he says he won't do it again, but then he does. He's going to do it. He's not gonna stop. He's not gonna change. He's gonna keep doing it. Like, obviously, we're all saying, let him get arrested, leave him, but it, you know, it doesn't work that way. The answer is obviously no. You are not the a-hole for getting him arrested. He should be arrested. But I don't know what to tell you about what's going to happen next, because this looks like it's, you know, a pattern in the making. Let's see what people say. You are not to blame at all. I pray that you find the strength to leave him. You need to plan a path out and get help. Yes. You're not the a-hole for pressing charges on him. You need to get away from him. You're the a-hole to yourself if you drop the charges again. You can't change him. Only he can do that. Run. Yeah, so I hope she gets out. I really do. Okay. Hey all, need some help here. Would I be the a-hole in this scenario? Me, 38 man, lent $1,500 to my friend, 39 female, for a down payment on a new car. We are both single parents, and I am doing okay financially for myself while my friend struggles. I am able to have a savings, my friend. Some months is lucky to walk away at a break-even point. Her car died on her in May, and she needs it for work and for her daughter. I felt bad because no bank was willing to give her a loan without a down payment, so I offered to lend her the $1,500 without interest if paid in a certain amount of time. She chose the date 10/1 that she would have the money. She also signed a promissory note indicating that she would pay the money back. She was expecting 2 bonuses from work and would just give me those. June, July, August came and nothing. She did give me $40 in the middle of September, but had not given me anything more. I know she is struggling badly financially. Her rent is going up. Her kid is having some issues mentally and emotionally, and she is having to call off work to deal with that on top of everything. She is having health issues as well. On top of that, those 2 bonuses never came. They were for referrals for family and friends, and both of them quit before the allotted time to get the bonuses. Holidays are coming up, end of year is coming up, tax season is upon us. I have offered a few times to help her budget, write up a plan, help her with finances any way I can, teach her how to grocery shop for the cheap, where to go, what to look for, cheap and healthy meals, etc. But those have all gone unanswered or ignored. Would I be the a-hole if I told her that I am recalling my loan and giving her until the end of the year? And if I am not paid, I am filing something in court against her. I don't want to lose that friendship, but at the same time, I also want her to have some kind of accountability or even a plan in place to get the money he will lose her as a friend if he takes her to court, and I still don't know if he'll even get the money, because, like, if she doesn't have the money, then she doesn't have the money. Let's see here. What people say. You're not the a-hole, but you're incredibly naive, so really your mentality is no better than your friends when it comes to the responsibility of finances. I mean, rule number 1 is never lend money to someone struggling unless they have an excellent payback record. You knew your friend's struggles and your emotion overtook your logical thinking process, and you lent her money anyways. She's obviously a financial risk. It is also not your responsibility to teach a full-grown adult how to life. Yeah, like, you knew she was struggling, but you gave her money, so what makes you think she's going to ever give it back to you? You know? Alright, let's see here. Realistically, you will lose the friendship if you do that, but obviously should be paid back. Even if she gives you $50 per week, it's going to take her just over 6 months to pay off. If you really were trying to help and are not strapped for cash, I would be having a strong word to say you need to be paying me $50 per week minimum for the loan to pay it off, or then it might end up being taken further and that you feel it's an abusive friendship at this point. Okay, we get the point. Yeah. Do not lend money to friends or family unless you can do without it yourself, you know? Yeah. Alright, let's do one more. Am I the a-hole for not recognizing people when I was out drinking? The other night I went out with some friends I hadn't seen in a year. Honestly, many drinks were had and it was a great time. Apparently, at some point late in the evening, 2 friends of mine saw me across the way and tried to get my attention. I guess they tried really hard, but y'all, I was so gone that God herself could come down in front of me and blessed me, and I would have had no idea. A few days later, I find out that one of them is really upset I didn't recognize him. I was like, my man, I was so drunk I had no idea what was going on, and I apologize, but they are really hung up on it. Am I the a-hole? Please. I mean, how much of a friend are they? Obviously not that much of a friend if you didn't recognize them when you were drunk, so what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, 2 friends of mine saw me across the